Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And Karina and I were having a great day today. It's February the 3rd, 2025. February the 3rd, 2025. So I started the live stream a little early. And I'll go a little longer because the other time I did a live stream, everybody just had more questions and more questions and more questions. Now, I'll give you all this free advice on how to process a green card. I'll give you all this free advice on how to process your K1 visa and your tourist visa and your spousal visa if you so desire. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you any legal advice. But I should work for USCIS. I could probably write the book. I should create a manual on how to process a K1 visa the easy way. You try reading this stuff on the USCIS websites. You got to have a master's degree in some kind of, I don't know, whatever. Ross Lee, hello Ross family. What's going on, Ross Lee? Christopher Reese, good evening, Diego and Karina. Hope you are good. We're all good. It's 65 degrees, no rain, no clouds, blue skies. It's been a good day. And Karina had the day off. So she had a day off, and I got my Venezuelan hat on. Karina got me this in Caracas. Is it Caracas? In Caracas. Tasha Slynn's World. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. Tasha Slynn's World. What's going on? And Christopher, it's 62 degrees here in North Carolina. Excellent. It got to a high pretty warm. It was like 72, something like that. And it's like San Diego weather. So it was a good day so far. Now, I tried to do a live stream the other day, but the internet was unstable. It was bouncing around. I couldn't get a connection. So I just said, forget about it. We'll just do it today, which is Monday. Tashless Lynn's World. Does USCIS look at you if I file for a 10-year green card? And if we file separate tax returns, will it affect my application? You can't file a separate tax return. You got to file a joint tax return. You marry an American citizen, you got to file a joint tax return. If you file a separate tax return, you're going to have a big problem with immigration. They're going to ask why. They're going to ask you why you do that. It's a problem. You can't do that. You have to file joint tax returns. When I'm still waiting for the freaking bank to send me my interest report. I'm gonna have to call them tomorrow because they're supposed, in accordance with federal law, I'm supposed to have received it by January 31. And it's February 3rd and I still haven't got the bank statement. So what's up with that? So I'll just call the bank and say, hey, how much interest did I make in 2024? Because I need it for my freaking taxes. Christopher Reese may be sick tomorrow to do some fishing. There you go. Yeah, Tashless Lynn's World, you have to file a joint tax return. You go to the irs.gov website, you look for Form 1040, and you fill out Form 1040, and you get your W-2s and your 1099s or whatever it is you probably W-2s. And then you fill out your 1040, and then you then you pay your taxes or file for a refund. Okay? As a man and wife. Both names need to be on the 1040. If you don't do that, there'll be problems for the 10-year green card and for the U.S. citizenship status. Paya, India. I went to the Social Security office today. Can you explain the process? I have an appointment on February 11th. What are you trying to do? You want to get your Social Security card? You bring your I-94 and your passport with you. So you got your I-94, you got your passport. You bring it to the Social Security office on your appointment day, and then you apply for your Social Security card. Let me see. Marvel Campbell. Hey, Diego and Karina. And what's going on? Ross Lee, Diego, thanks for all you do. Melissa's green card finally arrived. Well, I would give you a Mountain Dew salute, but I don't have any Mountain Dew. Karina, where's the Mountain Dew? Por favor. Please, could you get this? Can you get me some Mountain Dew? Okay, Karina's going to get the Mountain Dew so I can give a Mountain Dew salute. Got to do a Mountain Dew salute for Ross Lee. Marvel Campbell, hey Diego and Karina, what's going on, Marvel? And Tasha says, well, my husband's asking because he thinks he made a lot, and me as well. You have to file a joint tax return. I don't care how much money you made. You could make $1 million or $50,000. Both names have to be together on the tax form. Immigration need to see that. If they don't see that, there's a problem. Paya India, I overstayed my visa. Currently, the situation is we didn't have a ceremony. We have no pictures. Family and friends are against our relationship. You overstayed your visa. What do you mean you overstayed your visa? You got a K1 visa is a K1 visa gives you permission to enter the United States. And then you have an I-94, which gives you which tells you got to get married within 90 days. If you get married within 90 days, you're in status. If you didn't get married within 90 days, if you got married after 90 days, then you won't get a green card. Your K1 visa goes away when you land in America. When the plane lands at the airport, the K1 visa becomes irrelevant. Then you check in with the Border Patrol, and they give you an I-94. And on the I-94, there's a 90-day window of time. Then you got to get married within 90 days. So there's no such thing as overstaying a visa on a K1. There's no such thing as overstaying a visa. The visa goes away. The visa goes away right as soon as you land and then you go on to an I-94. If you have no pictures with family, and if you've got nothing, you've got no evidence of a wedding. Look. You say your friends are against your relationship. Your friends can pack sand, okay? I couldn't give a rat's butt about what my friends say or don't say. I married Karina, and we're together, and I'm going to be forever. My friends, I couldn't care less what their opinion is. They either support us or they don't. If they don't support it, then they're off my Christmas card list. But our friends had no problem with it. Okay, you're not marrying your friends. When I was in high school, maybe I needed the opinion of my friends. When I was in high school, maybe I needed the approval of my friends, maybe. But I don't need the approval of nobody. That's just Karina. That's it. And the same is true for you. The only approval you need is between you and your husband or husband and wife. That's it. Okay, don't worry about your friends don't support it. Tell your friends to go play in a mud pile. Ross Lee, my understanding is that she can apply for citizenship after 3 years from what date? From the issue date on the 2-year green card. So you got your 2-year green card. Look at the issue date. 36 months from the issue date is when you can apply for your citizenship. But I got to give you a Mountain Dew salute, Ross Lee, because you successfully got your green card. Everything's good. I love doing those Mountain Dew salutes for success stories. Paya India, immigration couldn't care less how much money you make as long as you file a joint tax return. But you're talking about your Social Security card. And you said that you didn't have a ceremony. You don't have to have a ceremony to get married. You could just sign the marriage certificate if you want to. But you got to have a marriage certificate and at least some pictures of the wedding. Immigration is going to ask for pictures of the wedding. They're going to want to see them. And don't worry about your friends not supporting your relationship. Wow, look at that. Ross Lee, the first super chat of February 2025. Ross Lee, thank you so much. That's awesome. Mountain Dew salute to Ross Lee, guys. I'm almost out of Mountain Dew, and I took Karina to eat Hardee's for her Hardee's breakfast on Sunday. We had a nice big breakfast at Hardee's, thanks to you guys and the super chats. In our super chat fund, it's for Mountain Dew and for Hardee's breakfast. Francois, good evening, Diego and Karina. Did you take Saturday off? I started to do the live stream and the internet was unstable. I couldn't get a free. It was like connection was on and off, on and off. I said, forget about it. I just booted it. I said, I'm done. I'm not even going to sit here and embarrass myself trying to get an internet connection. So I just said, forget about it. We'll just start off on Monday, which is today. Ross Lee, you look at the issue date on the 2-year green card. That's when the countdown clock starts for the 10-year green card and for U.S. citizenship. You can apply for U.S. citizenship 3 years from the issue date of the 2-year green card. Now, somebody said, well, it's taking 28 months to get a 10-year green card. Well, it's not taking 28 months to get a 10-year green card. That's what it says on the freaking USCIS website. It takes about 9 months, okay? But what happens is this. When you lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card 3 months before it expires, then you're going to get a notice from immigration. Well, thank you for the $750. We got your Form 751. We're going to lift the conditions. We're going to start the process. Your 2-year green card gets extended automatically 12 months by virtue of the fact that immigration took some more money out of your wallet and they have started the processing your 10-year green card. If it takes 28 months, oh well, so what? Because at the 36-month mark minus 3 months, you can apply for U.S. citizenship anyway. And you're going to have the I-797 saying that you paid and and immigration received your 10-year green card application. If they haven't finished adjudicating it yet, oh, who cares? Apply for U.S. citizenship. But here's the thing. Once you get your 2-year green card, okay, you must lift those conditions off that 2-year green card within 90 days before it expires. If you don't, you're going to get deported. With Trump in office, if you're a minute late, okay, now Trump is strict. And I don't have a problem with President Trump and his immigration policies because he's doing a good job. He's getting all those people out of our country that shouldn't be here. And he's letting people in our country like Karina who should be here. Okay? But you got to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card within 90 days before it expires. You apply for the 10-year green card. And then if it takes a year to get it, who cares, right? Because then you're up for the U.S. citizenship. And as long as you can prove that you've applied for your 10-year green card, you can go ahead and apply for citizenship. It's not your fault it took immigration so long, but you can still live and work and be happy in America on an expired 2-year green card as long as you have applied for your 10-year green card. Francois, I didn't take Saturday off. The computer took Saturday off. The internet. I don't know what was wrong. I never have I thought I was back in Bogota with an unstable internet connection, but it's all good. Ross Lee, Diego, did you bother changing Karina's passport to reflect her current name? Do you think it's unnecessary? Ross Lee, Karina's from Venezuela. We don't have any relations with Venezuelan government. Although Trump did send an envoy to Venezuela to Caracas and told Maduro he better behave himself or he's going to have his, what kicked. And then Maduro released the 6 Americans he was holding prisoner in his jails. And the U.S. envoy brought those 6 Americans home from Venezuela after Maduro was threatened with a nice ass whooping. Okay? Trump don't mess around. But there's no place for Karina to renew her passport. There's nowhere. Where can she do it? I mean, maybe we could fly to Colombia on her 10-year. We could fly to Colombia on her 10-year green card. And then go to the Venezuelan consulate in Bogota, if it's still there, and say, hey, can we get a new passport? But Karina's passport is good for 10 years. By the time Karina's passport expires, she would have already been an American citizen for God knows how many years and have a U.S. passport. So are we going to change Karina's last name in her passport? No, there's no way we can do it. There's no logistical way we can do it. But it's irrelevant because Karina's going to become a U.S. citizen and she's going to have a U.S. passport with Karina Ross's name in her American passport. To me, it's not necessary. When you come to America on a 2-year green card, you should be planning on working on becoming a U.S. citizen. Become a citizen. Then you don't have to worry about all these paperwork, all this immigration stuff anymore, right? It's a pain doing paperwork, right? We got to do it like you guys. Karina's been in America over a year now. Next year, she's going to apply for her 10-year green card. So we got more paperwork to do, just like you guys. And it's just something that's got to be done. Now that Trump is a president of the United States, our 10-year green card application, because it's a joint application for Karina, it's going to be top-notch, 0 errors. No errors, none. Perfect. It's going to be a perfect application. T-Bone 1241. My wife got her green card last week. Excellent, T-Bone. Mountain Dew salute. And she wants to travel back home to Colombia for a month because she is homesick. You can't do that. She got her green card? And she is already homesick? Seriously? I mean, seriously. You come to America to get married and start a life in the United States. You don't come to America to get married and then get homesick because you want to go home, because that ain't going to work out. She can go home for a month for vacation if she wants on her 2-year green card. And if it turns into a 6-month vacation, her green card will be revoked. Just so you know. You know, if you marry somebody from a foreign country, and as soon as they get to America, they get homesick, it's not going to work out. You're going to, Mr. Citizen, American citizen, you may as well just go live in Colombia with your new wife and pay your taxes every year online using some kind of online format. The IRS.gov, they have a place where you can file your taxes online for free. I mean, T-Bone 1241, homesick isn't going to cut it. When you marry an American citizen, you got to make sure. Now, I mean, I'm just preaching to the choir. She's been in the U.S. for 9 months, and she's okay to travel. Yes, she can travel on her 2-year green card. Okay, but remember, you need to tell her that 2 weeks, anything longer than 2 weeks, is a red flag for immigration. So she can, if you want, you need to tell her, go home for a 2-week vacation and then come back. If she goes for a month, okay, that's going to turn into 2 months, and it could be a problem. Just from experience. Ernest Dostie, do I need to fill the I-864 again, even though they only requested for a joint sponsor? If immigration only requested a joint sponsor, then only the joint sponsor has to fill out the I-864. He needs to have his last tax return and tax transcript, 6 months worth of pay stubs, and proof of income going into bank statements. If they're only asking the joint sponsor for the joint sponsor's paperwork, then you don't have to fill out any paperwork for yourself. You've already submitted it. Only the joint sponsor will fill out the form, the 864, plus all the other financial documents. That's got to be included with the joint sponsor. And Ross Lee, again, I appreciate that super chat right there. The first one for February is greatly appreciated right there. Let me see. I can't hit the like button. It doesn't work. Karina says, do that. Okay. Paya India, thank you so much. Always positive, helpful advice. Big thanks. You're always welcome, Paya India. This process isn't difficult. It's just slow. It's the paperwork can get complicated, so I try to make it easy for you guys, so it's not complicated. If I've made videos on how to fill out a 751, an 864, a 485. The only video that I haven't made is on how to fill out a 693, which is the medical exam. And that's the responsibility of the civil surgeon, okay? The civil surgeon, his administrative assistant, is supposed to be filling out the 693. Mr. Nahas, good evening, beautiful couple. Mr. Nahas, what's going on? How's your family? Paya India, yes, we got married under 90 days, but our family didn't support its reason we didn't do our ceremony. Well, as long as you got married within 90 days, okay, you got married within 90 days, you're in status. But you got to go find somewhere Did you file for the green card yet? If you haven't filed for the green card yet, you need to round up some people and then get pictures and say, this was our wedding reception. You got to have pictures of a wedding or something. You got to have it. Immigration's going to ask for them. Who cares if your family supports your marriage to the person you love? For me and Karina, my family, my friends, if they didn't accept it, they can pack sand. Okay? They can go and take a flying leap off of a short pier into the Gulf of America. I don't care. It's my relationship and everything that we have together is between us, and it's great. I couldn't give a cat's left tail about other opinions. I don't care. Don't care. And you shouldn't care either. You should be focusing on your 2-year green card and your 10-year green card and you becoming a U.S. citizen. You shouldn't be worried about the opinions of other people. Don't worry about it. You got to be stoic. That's the big new word for you guys. And you should have had a ceremony, even if your family didn't support it, even if it's just you, the two of you in the freaking courthouse. You got to have a ceremony. You got to get some pictures with the courthouse. At the courthouse, get the clerk of the court and all of her helpers to get in a picture for your green card application. Sam, hi Diego. What's going on, Sam? Paya, India, for the Social Security card they gave me. Can you explain about the form for filing? Paya, India. You go to the Social Security office with your I-94 and your passport, which has your K-1 visa in it. You got to have those 2 forms. That's it. And then you apply for your Social Security card. It's easy to do. Don't overthink it. Sam, hi Diego. What's going on, Sam? Julian, hello Diego. How are you doing? We are good. We're doing excellent. I got my Venezuelan hat on. Karina bought this for me in Caracas, Venezuela. I can't go to Venezuela because Maduro, the communist dictator, would arrest me. Well, probably not now Trump is in office. He would probably give me coffee and donuts now and wish me welcome. But that's because Trump's president and all these little commie dictators are scared of him. Paya, India, please suggest which bank should I open an account because I still don't have any address proof here. What do you mean you don't have any address proof, Paya, India? Don't you live with your husband or who do you live with? You don't have proof of address? I mean, that's difficult not to prove where you live. It was easy for Karina to prove where she lived here. She's on the electric bill, she's on the water bill, she's on the trash bill, she's on the gas bill. It's easy to get on these services unless you live in New York State like Francois, the communist state of New York. You can do this. You're living with your wife at her address. Okay. Are you on the deed to the house? Are you on the lease to the apartment? Are you on any of the bills? But she didn't add me in the rent office. Well, you got to get a letter from the rent office and say that you are living with your wife in the house at this address. I was a real estate agent for years. I could have been I could have been a property manager if I wanted to. I just didn't want to babysit an apartment complex. But go to the property manager and say, can you please type a letter up saying that I live at this address with my wife? You got to put it in the green card application. You got to show proof of cohabitation. When you apply for a 2-year green card, you got to prove 3 things. You got married and the relationship is real. You live together and you are commingling dollars. You are commingling money. Okay? That's what you got to do. And it's easy to do it. And if you get any roadblocks, overcome the roadblocks. If you don't know how to overcome the roadblocks, jump on the channel and I'll explain it to you and help you. Julian ALO. Let me see. Well, Creed is going to help me because the live stream is running pretty quick. Sam, I haven't received my adjustment of status receipt notice, but I just received biometrics. Is that normal? You're good. If you got a letter for biometrics, okay, they have got your AOS paperwork. So let's do this, okay? Let's put some of this MAGA pixie dust all over Sam and his adjustment of status paperwork. If you got a letter for biometrics, you're good to go. You just got to wait for adjudication. That's all. Maybe the letter got lost in the mail. Marvel Campbell, there you go. So when my husband got rejected, they processed the K2 and messed the app up. So when my husband got rejected, your husband got rejected for what? And they processed the K2 and messed up the app up, the application up. Did you fix it? Did it get fixed? Marvel, come on. Did you get it figured out? Julian ALO, I submitted my RFE because I applied only for the green card. I didn't apply for the work permit. It takes so long. Then I decided to apply for the work permit and they approved me, paid $1,440 and $260. Okay, so you're going to get a work permit. You're supposed to file together. You're supposed to file the work permit and the green card application together. You got lucky they didn't bill you for another $200. Francois Livingston, in your opinion, how many wedding pics will be sufficient to include in the green card package? I would say 8. 8 pictures. 8 pictures. Let's see here. And then you're going to have maybe 3 or 4 pictures from the reception. You know, so that's 8, 12, about 12 to 15, the reception and the wedding. Marvel Campbell, I got an RFE for H64, which is the affidavit of support for a K2. Apparently, it's the same one I used for the K1. Okay. So just when you file, listen, if you bring a K2 to the United States, if you bring a child to America, I don't care how, as long as the child is under 21, the child's going to qualify for the K2 and for the green card. You got to file a separate green card application for the child. So you got you get together your 2-year green card application for your wife. So what paperwork is in a K1 visa is in a green card application? Mandatory. The I-94, the 864, the 485, the 693, which is the medical exam. The I-94, a copy of the passport biographic page for the sponsor, the citizen, and all the pictures of the wedding and the marriage certificate and the evidence of living together, tax return, tax transcript, W-2s. You're on the title to the car and everything else. Now, when you apply for a green card for the child, you got to put together a separate application. So you got to have a 485. A 693, a medical exam, an 864 affidavit of support, a separate I-94, a separate passport photos. Don't forget the passport photos. Separate pictures. If you have a child that's in high school or middle school, show proof that the child is enrolled in school. So you're going to have 2 green card applications, one for the wife or husband and one for the child. And then you put them together in the same box and you ship it to wherever it's got to go, depends on where you live. So you're going to have 2 green card applications, one for the wife or husband and another one for the child and the other child and the other child. And you're going to have 2 separate checks made out to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Okay? So if the child's under 16, it's going to be less of an amount. But if the child is 16 or older, it's going to be $1,440 for the child and $1,440 for the adult, for the green card, and that includes the price of the biometrics. If you want to get a work permit, then you got to include 2 separate work permits, 2 separate 797s. That's the name of the form, right? You got to do it 2 separately. Okay, so you got an RFE, Marvel Campbell, for an 864 for the K2. Okay, it's the same one I used for the K1. Okay, so you got to redo the 864. and use the current edition. If you have to redo it, just redo it and sign it. Or unless the child is old enough to sign the form, him or herself. Francois, but what would immigration think about other people's opinions, Diego, if they approve it or not? Immigration don't ask people their opinion. Okay? They don't do that. They don't, hey, immigration didn't call up my brother and say, hey, what's your opinion of me getting married to Karina? If my brother said to immigration, well, I don't approve of it. Well, he did approve of it because he was at the wedding. But if he didn't approve of it, then he'd give his opinion. But it's irrelevant. Seriously, the immigration is not going to be calling around people asking for family members' opinions at the wedding. I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. I don't care. When I was maybe 20 years ago, I would worry about people and what they thought about me 20 years ago. But now I couldn't care less. You like me or you don't like me. If you like me, great. Come on. If you don't like me, go ahead, go play in another sandbox. Immigration is not going to call up family members to ask their opinion of your marriage. They're not going to do that. Francois, relax. Joel Adams, can my girl, your girl, work on an I-765 approved, I-485 pending? Can your girl, you mean your wife, can your wife work with a work permit approved? You got to wait for the work permit. Yes, if you have a work permit, you can work in the United States. You cannot work in the United States with just a Social Security card. You got to have a work permit, a Social Security card, and or a green card. So if you have a Social Security card, you go to the Social Security Administration and they mail it to you in about 10 days. That's great. But you can't work with it. You can get on the bank. You can get on services, the electric bill, stuff like that, but you can't work until you get a work permit. So your wife can work if she has a work permit while she's waiting for her green card. Yes. Marvel, they said I need a joint sponsor, but I made over $70,000 for a family of 4 and asking for 2023 tax return and marriage certificate. Well, you got to include the marriage certificate, Marvel, in the green card application. And a family of 4 needs to make 40 grand a year, $45,000 a year to qualify for the green card. And you make 70,000, you make double what really is supposed to be. Let's see, you make more than you make close to what a family of 9 needs to make. So your income is sufficient. Okay, your income is way above. You just got to prove it. How do you prove? Well, they're asking for your tax return. That's how you prove it. They're going to look at line 9 of your 1040 and your W-2. And if you didn't include the marriage certificate, well, then how are they going to know you got married? But you can fix it, Marvel, because I got faith in you. We're going to put pixie dust all over that green card application, and you're going to fix it so you can get that freaking green card working. Julian, I'm planning to extend my driver's license. Well, if you have a green card, your driver's license should be for what, 7 years? Marvel Campbell, when they split it, they didn't attach everything with the K2, it seems. Seems like immigration messed it up. Because you have to include all of your financial documents and your marriage certificate with the K2, with the green card for the child, and for the spot and for the beneficiary. When you file for a green card for your child, you must include the marriage certificate, the tax return, the W-2. Even you gotta basically copy everything that you put in for the green card for the wife, for the child. It has to be like a clone copy. Except on the 485, the name's going to be different, right? Because it's going to be the name of the child, and it's going to be a derivative, which is basically the child, But you'll figure you're going to fix it. You make more than enough money, Marvel. You're good to go. And Julian's going to extend his driver's license. Paya India, I'm living with my wife's address. but I didn't add me into the rent office. Well, you got to get added in the rent office. You got to get your name onto the lease to the apartment, and then they got to print it, or they can write a letter. The property manager can write a letter on letterhead paper for the apartment complex and say that you live with your wife at this apartment at this number, and you whatever. You got to prove it. You prove it with documentation. Paya India, you got to do that. Ernest Dosti, the RFE said the sponsor has to redo the I-864 and submit the correct income documents since my first income wasn't enough, or can have a joint sponsor and submit the correct income. Get a joint sponsor and have the joint sponsor fill out. You can help the joint sponsor fill out the I-864, get the joint sponsor's last tax return, last W-2, 12 months worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs, and a letter from his or her boss saying that your joint sponsor works here at this company, etc. Okay? You can do that. Ernest, I know you can do that. Jewel, hello, Diego and Karina. Great news. My husband finally got approved with his adjustment of status after 2 RFEs. Holy kakaroke. Almost 11 months of waiting, but you made it, Jewel. That's a Mountain Dew salute. 2 RFEs. And I'm thinking I helped you get through those 2 RFEs. I'm thinking, if I remember. I think I basically guided you on those and helped you fix it. But you're going to get some extra mega pixie dust anyway, because I feel like it. Let's see here. Good job, Jewel. You paid with a credit card. Don't pay for a green card with your credit card. Don't pay for a K-1 visa application with your credit card. Write a check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. No abbreviations. Write a personal check or get a cashier's check. Don't use your credit card. Marvel, Diego, I did, but it was separated. Yeah, immigration messed it up. Due to the rejection for the K-1 payment method, mistake on the 864 for the child is that the K-1 remains the principal applicant, and I didn't know that. You are the principal applicant. The K-2 is the derivative. Okay? The beneficiary, the adult, the K-1 is the beneficiary, is the principal applicant. The child under a green card application is a derivative. Jeffrey Garcia. Hey, Diego, I hope you are doing well. Doing great. I got married to my wife last year and still waiting for the residency for my wife. Do I file jointly for 2024 taxes? Yes, you do. You file a joint tax return. She has a social security number, right? Jeffrey Garcia. She has a social security number. You file a joint tax return. If she doesn't have a social security number, then you can't file a joint tax return. Marvel, Diego, I promise I sent everything. I believe you. I know you did. Immigration messed this one up. Angel Tate, hi, Diego and Karina. We plan on filing taxes soon as married, filing jointly. Yes. Maybe we won't pay a lot of taxes since it's only one income. You get a tax break when you file taxes together jointly. You get a tax break, okay? And hopefully Trump gets rid of the IRS and we don't have to pay these stupid taxes anymore, and we can start charging countries tariffs and they can fund our government. Because I'm sick and tired of paying money, especially to Biden, because they'd spend money on stupid stuff. It was a total waste of. It's like Biden was throwing money into the toilet and flushing the toilet. Our tax money, He was a horrible, and the Congress. It's the Congress that's at fault mainly because the Congress approves the transactions, and then the president spends it. I'm just glad Elon Musk and Trump are in there cleaning house and getting rid of all this waste of fraud and abuse in our government. I know you sent everything, Marvel. And Angel Tate, file a joint tax return and you'll get a tax break. Okay? If you buy a house together, okay, let's suppose you buy a house together and then you sell the house and you buy another house somewhere else. You get a $500,000 tax break on any profit. Okay? Let's suppose you buy a $200,000 house and you sell it for $350,000. If you were single, you'd get hit with capital gains tax. If you're married, you have up to a $500,000 tax break, so you wouldn't get hit with capital gains tax. So you save a bunch of money there. I mean, it's nothing to do with immigration, but it's just stuff that you should know as a married couple when you buy and sell a house. If you go over 500,000, that's when capital gains will kick in. Well, in Florida, that's the case for Florida. Let me see here. Paya, India. How many days will it take the Social Security office to provide a number? About 10 days, 7 to 10 days. And it will be mailed to you from Baltimore, Maryland. So check the mail for a letter from Baltimore, Maryland. That's where the Social Security cards come from. Francois Livingston, I clearly remember you saying once to send relationship proof from the beginning of the relationship in the green card package, just like we did for the K-1 visa package. That is exactly correct. When Karina filed for her 2-year green card, we had pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. We had 4 years worth of pictures. Then we had wedding pictures. We submitted about 5 or 6 wedding pictures. And then we had 3 pictures from the reception at the Mexican restaurant, because Karina loves Mexican food. And we had Mexican a lunch for about, 30 or 40 people. Those pictures went in her green card application. And then we went to a little town near the Alabama border just to show Karina a different part of this part of Florida. And we got pictures there. The day before we mailed the green card application. So I came home, I printed the picture or 2 on the computer. I put in there the date the pictures were taken, which was February 28th, 2024, where the pictures were taken and everything. And then we filed for the green card on February 29th, which was a leap year last year. So we had 4 years worth of pictures for Karina's green card, for her 2-year green card. When we file for Karina's 10-year green card next year, we will have 6 years worth of pictures. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. 6 years worth of pictures. Okay? About 5 pictures from each year, which is 5 times 6 is what? 30? That's 30 pictures. Larry Piercy, were you off the air Saturday? I couldn't get an internet connection. I said to heck with it. I'm not going to battle this internet company, and you guys kept getting kicked off and rebooted and it's a lot of work putting together a live stream. It's not just clicking a button. It takes work, okay? And I don't mind doing the work because I'm helping you guys. But if the internet connection is not going to be solid, I'm not going to waste my time. No, it wasn't you. It was my internet server. Let me see here. Larry Piercy, I answered. Rohit, hi. In my USIS account, the progress option is not showing. Only current status, documentation, and case history is showing. Do you have any idea of the reason behind it? Rohit, here's the secret. Okay, this is the secret. Don't look in your USIS account. Okay? Because you're going to get a headache. Because the USIS information is not 100% accurate. You know, I remember when I checked on the USIS account for Karina, and they were telling me it was taking 24 months, okay, to get her 2-year green card. She got it in 3 months, in 2 weeks. So don't believe, man, do salute to Rohit because of stress, okay? Don't believe what they say on those applications, okay? It's normally not correct. Can I send you the link to what? What, to Karina's USIS account? We don't even use it. I don't even look at it. When we apply for Karina's 10-year green card, I'm not going to be sitting on Karina's phone every day checking her account status. You get brain damage doing that. So your cerebral network will discombobulate. You apply for the 2-year green card and you wait. First thing you're going to get is a biometrics appointment letter. Hope EPO 97. Can I travel abroad with conditional green card under the Trump administration? Absolutely. Just don't go past. Just my advice is if you travel on a 2-year green card, take a vacation for 2 weeks and come back home. Don't go past 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the max I would do. A vacation is 2 weeks. Okay? If you leave the country longer than 6 months on a 2-year green card, don't be surprised when you try to come back into America and the Border Patrol officer takes your card and says, you ain't coming back in the country. You can take a vacation on a 2-year green card, but I don't recommend it. Let's see here. Yes, she does, says Jeffrey Garcia. Rohit, how long is the wait after the biometrics to get approved on the 485? It's usually about 2 months. Can you call USAF if it's taking too long? Why would you call them? Any idea how many months? It takes like 6 to 9 months to get a green card once you have your biometrics done. 6 to 9 months. And if everybody were quick calling USCIS to check on the status of their green card, the green cards will get processed a lot quicker. Because instead of taking phone calls, immigration can be processing green cards. I mean, most of the green cards, when the process slows down, a part of the reason it slows down is because everybody's calling them up and taking up their time on the phone. What's the status of my green card? What's your receipt number? Then they got to punch the receipt number in the computer. Then they got to check your status. It could take you maybe an hour to get through to immigration. My advice is just wait out the process. If there's a problem, you'll get an RFE or an NOID, notice of intent to deny. Like this other person, they got a notice of intent to deny because they didn't fill out the freaking forms properly. If you don't fill out the forms properly, if you check the wrong box, you could get a denial. Now, a notice of intent to deny doesn't mean they've denied your green card. It just means there's an intention there that they could. And you got to fix something. So fix it quick. And you have to repay the visa fee, the green card fee. If you get a notice of intent to deny because you messed up the paperwork because you didn't pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing, you got to rewrite the check to USCIS, to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You got to redo the whole thing. It's going to cost you another $1,440. So if you don't mess it up, you only pay one time. If you get an NOID letter, you got to jump on it, fix it right away before they deny the green card and repay the visa fee, the green card fee. I keep saying visa, the green card fee. Jewel, to Rohit, you should be able to check their website for an inquiry date. They'll tell you the date when you can inquire about your case. Just type inquiry date. There you go. Larry Piercy, okay, I thought it was me. No, Larry, there was an unstable internet connection. And if I got the connection started and then all of a sudden it got kicked off and then started again and kicked off, I wasn't going to play that game. So I just said, I'll come back Monday. David Patch, good evening, guys. Again, it's been a while. My wife is still patiently waiting for her green card. Okay. Well, this is time for, guess what? MAGA pixie dust on David Patch's wife's green card. They said it'll be 11 months. They said it'll be 11 months. Her biometrics was done on 10/1/2024. Hope she'll get it soon. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. She'll have her green card by June or July of this year. David. Okay. This is the K1 Visa Green Card MAGA Super Lucky Pixie Dust for 2025. Last year I had blue pixie dust. This year it's red MAGA pixie dust. So it's more powerful. Okay. This is the winning mixie. This is winning right here. You're going to get it by the summer, David. So what you need to do is you got to put your feet up and relax and chill out and wait it out. Go and show your wife around the neighborhood, teach her show her where the Walmart is, where Publix is, when Dixie, I don't know what stores you have. Piggly Wiggly, Karina's favorite store, Piggly Wiggly. Right? That's not our favorite store. But she likes to say Piggly Wiggly because it's one of the first English words she learned, because I would say in Colombia. Piggly Wiggly. Just relax, David. Go show your wife around the neighborhood. Get her accustomed to being in America. You know, if your wife gets homesick after just getting to America, okay, then that's not good. David Pitch, awesome. Petch, awesome. Trust me, she knows where the Walmart is. Yeah, Karina's favorite place is Walmart, right? No? Yeah, it is. She likes, my wife, Karina, she loves Walmart. She's like, she walks in there, she's like, everything's here. Everything. I mean, why do you want to go? I mean, she gets everything there. I said, well, we got to spread the wealth around. You can't be buying everything at Walmart. But she does. You know, she's bored one day. What are we going to do? Well, let's go to Walmart, walk around. You know? So make sure that your beneficiary knows where everything is in your neighborhood, where's the post office, etc., etc. Karina knows where everything is. Jewel, to David, my husband got approved his green card 9 months later after his biometrics. It's 6 to 9 months for the green card application. Okay? But we're going to give Jewel a Mountain Dew salute for the 9 months. Because I said it was going to be 9 months, and it was 9 months. There we go. Now, next month is Karina's birthday, right? So we're going to take a week of vacation in March. So I won't be doing a live stream for, let me see, during that 1 week of vacation. So I want to take Karina somewhere nice. I'm not going to say where it is. And we're going to make lots of videos too, because Karina likes to make videos. And then we're going to take a week off. So from March 9th to March 15th, we're on vacation. Okay, I'm going to say right here. So right here, March 9th to March 15th is vacation. Now, Karina reminded me today, I can't even spell vacation. Karina reminded me today that we haven't had a vacation in 3 years. I was like, seriously? The last vacation we had, we went to Cartagena, Colombia, which is on the west coast of Colombia. We stayed in the Ibis Hotel, I think on the 15th floor, looking over the Caribbean Sea. We had a week's vacation on the west coast of Colombia because I was sick of Bogota because it was so cold and I was dying from 10,000 feet above sea level. And we went to Bendita Beach and we walked around. We went to Pope. What is it? Pope. There's the highest point in Cartagena. It's a very historical place. And we went to the castle of De Felipe. The Spanish built this big castle in the 15th century. I mean, the United States didn't even exist. And here I'm walking around a big castle that was built before America was even formed. So it's been 3 years since we had a vacation this month. And I'm on a plane. I'm on this plane, Avianca Airlines, flying from Bogota to Cartagena. And I got this Colombian sitting next to me who spoke English. And he said to me, he asked me, he said, what do you think about Putin? Because this was when President Putin had all these Russian army troops massing on the border of Ukraine. And I'm on a plane flying to Cartagena, and he says to me, do you think Putin's going to invade the Ukraine? I said, no, why would he do that? Why would Putin invade the Ukraine? That's insane. Well, the guy said, well, he's got about 100,000 troops all lined up on the border with Ukraine. I said, well, maybe he's just having a training. You know, he's just having training with them. And then we landed in Cartagena. We start our vacation, and Putin invades the freaking Ukraine. And I'm telling this guy it's not going to happen. There goes my credibility, right? Well, who would have guessed? But it's just a memory of our vacation. And we went to Cartagena. We stayed in a beautiful hotel, and we had a great time. So now it is time. We are overdue 3 years for a vacation, so we're going to be off the air from March 9th to March 15th. But I promise you, on March 16th, we'll be ready to go for new videos with a bunch of stuff. But good job for Jewel. Larry Piercy, what day is your birthday? Karina's birthday is on March 10th. March 10th, Karina celebrates her 18th birthday. How many times have you celebrated your 18th birthday? Quite a few times. But anyway, she's having her birthday on March 10th, and I'm going to fly her somewhere very nice for her birthday. Okay? And we're going to make videos at this location. And then and then while Karina's back at work, I'll be making videos so you can see what Karina was up to for a week with me. So she gets to fly within the United States, right? Karina's like, yeah, we just won't leave the United States. We're not going to leave the frontiers. We're going to be in the United States, flying somewhere. Joe Nadi, hi Diego, my status on USCIS says case was updated to show fingerprints was taken. That sounds like, okay. Any idea what it means? It means that your biometrics were done. Applied November 2024 for adjustment of status. Okay. So when it says updated to show fingerprints was taken, that means that the USCIS folks have got your biometrics package. So it's taken 6 to 9 months to get a green card, and about 1 to 2 months to get a work permit. You said you went to you applied November 2024, November, December. So you've had the biometrics done. That's what the fingerprints means. So December. So you still got a ways to go, Joel. But you're good. You're moving around. You're moving through the system, no problem. Joel to David, to give you an idea, our adjustment of status application was received on March 2024. Woof. Received 2 RFEs, got approved 11 months later after receipt. Francois, I don't know if you commented on my question when YouTube cuts off about whether people approve or support the relationship. Let me see. I answered the question, but it may have been a YouTube commercial running. Immigration, okay, are going to adjudicate your green card on whatever it is you submit to them. If they want to if they need further evidence, they'll ask for it. But they're not going to be calling up your family and friends asking, do you approve of their relationship? Immigration's not going to do that. Immigration they can do this. They can come to your house at 5 o'clock in the morning after you've been married for 6 months, and they can knock on the door. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning is when they normally do it. And you both get up in your freaking Winnie the Pooh pajamas and open the door. And who are you? Oh, immigration, just seeing how you guys are doing. Well, we're good. It's 5 o'clock in the freaking morning. Why are you waking us up? Well, we're just doing a check, doing a courtesy call. Well, great. They can do that. They can do courtesy calls on you. Okay. Usually early in the morning. But they're not going to, and they can go knock on their neighbor's door and ask, are we married? They can go knock on our neighbor's door. Hey, do you know if Diego and Karina are living together or married? Are living including everything. But they're not going to call up my brother and say, did you approve of the wedding? They're not going to call up my friends and say, did you approve? Okay. It's irrelevant. Me personally, I couldn't care less what anybody thinks, okay, of our relationship. It's between us. If they approve it, if they approve of it, that's good. If they don't approve of it, I don't care. Francois, when I went to the interview with Hamid, the consular officer asked me if so-and-so knows about the relationship and what they think. Who is so-and-so? This was in the United Arab Emirates at the embassy, at the U.S. consulate, at the embassy interview. And the consular officer asked me if so-and-so knew about the relationship and what did they think. Yeah. They can ask that question at a consular interview and you give a response. Yeah, you just tell them, and what did you say? What did you tell them? If Karina had her K1 visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, Colombia, November 16, 2023. Now, let's just imagine the consular officer said, hey, Karina, does Diego's brother approve of you marrying Diego? And she would say, yeah, of course. What if he didn't approve of it? And she would say, well, he doesn't approve, but it's none of his business. Mm-hmm. It's not his business. I understand where you're coming from, Francois, but here's the thing, right? Immigration are looking for a real relationship. They're not looking for approval from other people. They're looking to see if you guys are in a real relationship, and that is no fraud involved. Okay. If there's no fraud involved, you get the green card. If immigration uncover fraud, like there was one guy, he was in the army, and he married a lady from Ghana, and Ghana is a rough place. It's difficult to get a K1 visa out of Ghana right now. But he was married to a lady from Ghana. He was in the army, and the only reason he married her was to give her a green card, and she was living in New York, and he was living on an army base, I think, in Georgia, so he could collect the benefits of being married. So he basically married her to get her the green card. She's living in New York, and he's on the army base in Georgia, I think it was Georgia, just so he can collect because you get paid a basic allowance for subsistence, a housing allowance. He was collecting all this extra cash for being married, so he could live off base. In immigration, when he went to file for the 10-year green card, okay, when you file for the green card, for the 10-year green card, you got to identify where you guys are living. Well, she was living in New York and he was living in Georgia. Okay. They didn't file joint tax returns. She filed a tax return in New York and he filed a tax return in Georgia. They didn't have any pictures together for the last 2 years. They didn't have their names on the bills. So his name was on his bills and her name was on her bills in New York. So they couldn't prove anything for the 10-year green card. So immigration starts sticking their nose in and nosing around to find out why this person is living in New York and the other person's in Georgia, and they uncovered immigration fraud. So what happened? Well, the U.S. Army prosecuted him because it was a federal offense to do that. So he got in trouble with the Army because he basically defrauded the Army out of thousands and thousands of dollars. Right? He's collecting money for extra housing and everything. So he defrauded the U.S. government, the taxpayers. So he got prosecuted. She got her green card revoked and deported back to Ghana. So he lost his military career. She lost her green card. And that's all she wrote. So now you see why immigration are so strict on how this process goes. Okay? They couldn't prove cohabitation. They had separate bank accounts. They didn't file joint tax returns. And immigration was waiting for the paper. So they submitted the paperwork for the 10-year green card, and it wasn't jiving. She lives in New York. He lives here. What the heck? And he got prosecuted. Francois, everyone knows. Every time I say to my sister that I would like to come over, which is 4 hours away, there's an excuse every time from her. But you should read the letters that my friends just gave. Look, Francois, Mount du salute to all your friends for the wonderful letters they've written for you to help Hamid get his green card. And you gotta understand this. If somebody doesn't accept the relationship, well, you're marrying somebody from another country. What's up with that? Because I want to. I'm in love with Karina. She's my wife. I married her because I want to be with her for the rest of my life. But she's from Venezuela. Okay, so what? Where's your wife from? Oh, my wife, well, she's from upstate New York. Or my wife, she's from San Diego. Okay? Do you get along with? Nah, I can't stand her. We'll get a divorce, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. As long as you guys are in a real relationship and your income is good and everything's good, don't worry about other people's opinions. Only worry about what you are in the relationship and immigration. That's all you got to worry about. Let me see. Francois, I haven't had anyone say they don't approve or not. Nor have we. Nobody's ever said no one that I know has said they don't approve. And all of Karina's friends, her friends are from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Peru, donde más? Right here in Florida. She got new friends in Florida. Everybody's happy. She goes out. She'll say, hey, I want to go out. My friend wants to come over and pick me up and drive me over to here. Well, okay, we'll go have fun. I can figure out a video for you guys. I can write a video. I have to produce it, write it, and edit it, and shoot it. We're not making a video. It's not like a 5-minute thing. It could take 5 or 6 hours. So Karina said, okay, I'm going to go hang out with my friend from Puerto Rico. I said, okay, go have fun. And then she comes back, and then today Karina made me a birthday cake, right? Because in Colombia, Karina was the manager of 5 ice cream stores. So she made me a big old birthday cake. It was great. Let me see. Got it. Thank you, says Francois. Yeah, immigration, I'm making sure that the relationship is real between you and Hamid. They couldn't care less about what your sister thinks. If your sister doesn't approve of the wedding, oh, freaking well, right? You approve of it. Hamid approves of it. That's all you got to worry about. And you got all those letters. Simon Dada. Hey, Diego, my wife just got her green card in the mail today. Well, that's another Mountain Dew salute. We're having some good Mountain Dew salutes today. Simon Dada. Excellent. Great news. Good job. The Colonel's in the house. Ted. Hey, Diego, mailing tomorrow? Now, but listen, Ted, before you mail that green card application off, before you do, you need to go through it about 5 times. 5 times. Just pretend it's like an OPSEC report. When you were in the Army, did you get an OPSEC report? When I was in the Navy, I had to study OPSEC reports, okay, before I made a decision on something. Before you send it, now the mailing, the address for USPS is different than UPS. That's right. Don't send it to USP. Don't use USPS to mail your green card application. Use DHL, FedEx, or UPS. Don't use the Postal Service. Don't do that. The U.S. Postal Service is a federal entity that's losing money. Okay? They're losing money. UPS, FedEx, DHL is a private company. They're making money, and they don't want to lose customers. And they want to keep making money. The U.S. Postal Service don't care if they lose your stuff. Just my opinion. If they lose your green card application, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. If FedEx loses it, there's a problem. There's an irritated customer who tells 20 other customers, don't use FedEx. Mail your green card application with FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Do not use the Postal Service and write a check. Don't use your credit card. If you listen to me, Colonel, can I send a medium-sized flat rate box? Here's what you do, Colonel. Pay attention, Colonel. Pay attention. You get your wife's green card application. If it's this thick or this thick, hopefully it's this thick, you take it to a FedEx office and you say, I need to ship this to this address. The FedEx address for immigration. They will determine the size of the freaking box. Okay? And they will determine the size of the box. You don't have to overnight it. You don't have to spend $100 and overnight it. Ship it use the cheapest rate. Get it there in 4 or 5 days. Because immigration is not going to process it. If they get it tomorrow, they're not going to do anything with it. They're going to stick it on the shelf. Go to a courier service with your green card paperwork and say, I need to ship this. And they will determine what box to use. Okay? You got it? I went through it 15 times, my friend. OCD, full steam ahead. Okay, so you're good to ship it. But don't use the postal service. Use FedEx or UPS or DHL. Marvel Campbell, happy birthday, Diego. Well, thank you. I got another birthday with Karina. She made me the big cake. In Colombia, she made me a big cake. Now she's making me cakes in Florida. It was lemon and cream and peaches on top. It was good. And then she got one candle in the middle because there's no space there's no room on my cake for the number of candles that would have to be on there. There's no space. So we'd have to have the fire department outside waiting just in case there was a problem. So we put one candle in the middle and I lit it and boof. And then I started, and now I'm doing the live stream. Francois, I'm not saying she doesn't approve. I would like her to meet my husband. That's all. Okay. Like I said, Francois, if your sister will get to meet Hamid very soon, hopefully. My brother met Karina, and they get along like on a house on fire. I mean, they're friends. They're friends with Greg and my nephew. Yeah. And Karina has a friend from Thailand. That's Larry's wife. And Francois, I would love to see Karina's beautiful cakes. Francois, busca tu torta. It's in the fridge, she said. She said it's in the fridge right now. Maybe it's on the phone here. Look, let me see. It's a picture on the phone. We'll show it to you in the camera. So, Ted, you're good to go. Francois, would love to see Karina's beautiful masterpieces. Okay, well, here's a picture right here. That's a light. It's horrible. There we go. Hey, that was good. I'm already munching out on it. Larry Piercy, Moggy loves Karina. And Karina, everybody loves Karina. Okay. Let me see. Francois, he said this is stunning. Is muy bonita. Thank you. It was delicious too. Mega pixie dust for Karina because she makes good cakes. Now remember, when Karina was making cakes in Colombia, she was in a restaurant kind of thing. So she had all this top of the line professional cooking stuff, ovens and stuff like that. Here we just got the gas oven. So she's creating this wonderful cake, but she's using just regular gas oven, right? She doesn't have it's not like this high tech stuff she had in Colombia. Colombia is a very modern country. Some people say, well, Colombia is third world country. No, it's not. Colombia is very modern, and they have some high tech stuff. It's a beautiful place. And I there's parts of Colombia that I miss. There's things that I miss, but I don't miss the cold, rainy weather in Bogota. Okay, I've been talking for an hour plus, hour and 13 minutes. Come on, throw some questions at me, guys. I want to answer your questions. I want to get you through this process without stressing it. Okay, but don't ever use the U.S. Postal Service to ship off your green card application or your K-1 visa. Use a courier service. I don't care which one you use, just use one. David Petch, everybody will always have something to say about one's relationship. This is our lives, not theirs. Live for you, not for them. That's right. I live to take care of Karina. Karina lives to take care of me. And we take care of each other. Okay? I got my Venezuelan hat on, and we take care of Karina's family. You right? We look out for them. I'm always trying to talk to my niece, Paola. My niece Paola was born in Colombia, but her mom is Venezuelan. So her mom got out of Venezuela. Karina's brother's wife and Karina's brother got out of Venezuela and moved to Colombia. And then they had baby Paola in Colombia. So Paola is Venezuelan Colombian. But she has a Colombian passport, which is good. I love to talk to baby Paola. She's really smart. She was tying her own shoelaces at 2 years old. 2 years old, she's tying her own shoestrings. I'm like watching her. And then she's telling me to put freaking flip-flops on because in Colombia there's no carpet on the floor. It's tile. Everything's cold tile. And she's telling, and Paola's looking at me saying, Tio, Cholas, Tio, Uncle, you got to put your freaking flip-flops on. You're going to get sick. And David is absolutely right. Don't worry about what other people think of your relationship, okay? Don't be offended. You know, if somebody says, well, you're too old for her, or she's too young for you, or she's from this country or that country, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. If Karina was in Venezuela, I would have found a way to get to Venezuela to go to date her in Venezuela. I would have found a way. I would have went into Colombia, and then I would have found a way. But luckily for me, she was in Colombia for 6 years. So we dated each other for 3 years in Colombia. Thank goodness that, that Karina was there. But I would have found a way to find her anyway, right? I would have had to pull her into Colombia. Say, come on, live in Colombia down here. So, any questions, guys? Larry Piercy. So, USCIS original received October 2nd, got the bio October 21st, got the biometrics, got RFE November 19th. They answered on December 2nd. So, you still think end of February, or how do you feel? End of February. Yeah. Larry, listen, I know you don't like this, but I'm putting some mega pixie dust all over that RFE, okay? And I want to give Morgie a Mountain Dew salute for putting up with you, because you can't be patient. You got to be patient during this process. And also, I'm going to sign off now because nobody's asking me any questions. I'm here to help you for free get through this process. I want you to relax during the process and don't overthink it. Ted, I learned something on 485 we talked about before and want to share with everyone. Page 8, part 4, question 1. That's to do with, I got it right here. That's as if you've applied before for a K1 visa. If I remember. Part 8, let's see. Page 8. Part 4, question 1. Page 8, part 4, question 1. Have you ever applied for an immigrant visa to obtain a permanent resident status at a U.S. embassy or the U.S. consulate abroad? That would be, it's no for a K1. We don't apply for immigrant visa. This is for a spousal visa. Right. The K1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. An immigrant visa is a spousal visa. So if you were going through a spousal visa, right, there would be a yes. If you're going through K1, it would be no because it's not immigrant. Ted, you are absolutely right. The spousal visa is an immigrant visa. It's a green card gets issued by the embassy. If you got married to a foreign national, then she would be applying for an immigrant residency, but she's not. She's applying for non-immigrant. So it's a no. Good job, Ted. Simon Data, Diego, what's the next after we receive the 2-year green card? Now you keep collecting evidence for your 10-year green card. So you got your 2-year green card in your hand. You need to start collecting evidence for your 10-year green card. What am I talking about for evidence for the 10-year green card? Keep the bank statements for the next 2 years. You got to show immigration that your name is a joint account holder on the bank. Okay? What else? You're on the electric bill, the water bill, the deed to the house, the apartment lease. You're going to show cohabitation. When you apply for a 10-year green card, you're going to be repeating everything you submitted for the 2-year green card, except you don't have to include the I-94. When you apply for a 10-year green card, you don't have to include the I-94 because they already know you're here legally because you got the 2-year green card. You don't have to repeat the medical exam for the 10-year green card. When you repeat the medical exam for the 2-year green card, the medical exam is good indefinitely. All right, it's indefinite. So you don't have to repeat the 693. You don't have to include police certificates from foreign countries when you apply for the 2-year green card. When Karina got here to America, her Venezuelan police certificate, her Colombian police certificate, and her Interpol police certificate, okay, got her from Colombia to America. So they already cleared her. They already cleared her through the police. When you apply for the 2-year green card, you don't have to include the police certificates anymore. But when you apply for the 10-year green card, you don't have to include the medical exam or the I-94. Let's see here. Colonel, Francois, we'll have questions Wednesday. Ted deserves a Mountain Dew salute. Yeah, Ted gets a Mountain Dew salute. But I probably wasn't clear enough when he asked me that question the other day when I had internet connection. An immigrant visa is it's the spousal visa. It's generated at the embassy. It gets mailed to your house. A K-1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, so it's going to be no on page 8 of 24. Oh, I swore I could have made a video about that. I have to relook at the video and see. Okay, Francois, we'll have questions on Wednesday. No problem. Wednesday it is. David Patch, being we filed for the green card in August of 2024, do you think it's possible we won't get an RFE? It's been 5 months. It takes 6 to 9 months for them to even adjudicate it. You got another about 3 more months before you have to start worrying. Francois, we'll see you on Wednesday, Francois. Colonel, when they got their green card, I'm coming to Florida to celebrate with my family and yours with fish and chips. Name the place. Well, I don't know of any fish and chip shops here where we live. Maybe Captain D's is fish and chips. There's Captain D's. Captain D's. Alamehu Mekonnen. I used USPS Express to send the green card delivered in 2 days. I never used the United States Postal Service for immigration paperwork. Never. Like Austin Powers would say in his famous movies, I see you like to live dangerously. Colonel, have a good night. Thanks for going over the application again. No worries. Alamaheyu Mekonnen, I'm applying for a K-1 next week. What additional documents should I submit? How many photos? Well, you want to put at least 40 pictures in the K-1 visa application, at least 40 pictures over a period of at least 1 year of dating your beneficiary, 1 year or longer, and 3 or 4 letters, 2 or 3 letters from friends and family. But before you submit that K-1 visa application, you got to show that you've been in a relationship for a long time. You got to at least make 2 trips to see your beneficiary, at least 2 times. Just my opinion. There's a lot of stuff you can put in a K-1 visa application. Dinner date receipts, photos with friends and family. Immigration don't want to see pictures together so much. Selfies. It's irrelevant. They want to see pictures with friends and family. You know what I mean? That's what they want to see. They want to know that everybody on the planet knows that you guys are engaged to be married. Did you include an engagement ring in your K-1 visa application? Did you have an engagement party with your beneficiary in her home country in street clothes, not in cultural clothes? Did you have an engagement party? Do you have any proof of taking vacations together? We went on vacation 3 places in Colombia: Cucuta, Cartagena, and Villa de Leyva. And where? And that place where I can't pronounce because it's a long Spanish word and I can't say it. But we went to lots of places. We went on vacation like 3 times, 4 times. Now we're going, next month, we're going on our, we've been 3 years without a vacation. I've been concentrating on getting Karina's K1 visa, getting her green card, and it's time consuming. And then Karina was working, she has her job. So next month, we're going to be on a week's vacation. So I'm not going to do a live stream on vacation. So don't panic. We'll be back. Let's see. Alamehu, Mekonnen, you got to provide as much evidence as you can of your relationship with your beneficiary. You got to prove that the relationship is real, etc. And Simon Dada, how long do we have to wait before applying for the 10-year green card? You got to look at the 2-year green card. Take a look at the 2-year green card. Look at the expiration date. 3 months before it expires, you must lift the conditions off the 2-year green card with Form 751. Plus a bunch of evidence. Just when you apply for the 10-year green card, you got to do it 3 months before the 2-year green card expires, within that 3-month window. If you apply too early, your green card application will be rejected and sent back to you. If you wait past 90 days, if you wait, let's say a week or 2 after the 2-year green card expires, and then you lift the conditions, you will get a letter of intent for deportation. So don't mess that part up. And I've made lots of videos on how to lift the conditions off of a 2-year green card and apply for a 10-year green card. We're going to put mega pixie dust all over Alameo's K1 visa. You proposed to her during church events. Do you have pictures of you with people at these church events? When you went to these church events, do you have group pictures with you and your fiance at church events? Did you take your cell phone with you and get it? Hey, come on, guys, round everybody over here. Here, you got 6 or 7 people. Click. There's a photo of a church event. These are the names of the people in the picture. This is where the pictures were taken, and this is the date the picture was taken. We'll be back. What's today? What day is it today? Wednesday? Today's Monday. We'll be back on Wednesday. See you guys Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time.